What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, DOITWITHDAN, and there is some smudging on my lens. There you go. I can see you so much clearer now. Why is your room such a mess? Oh, dude, you gotta clean this place up. Anyway, so some things have happened over the past couple of weeks that I felt like required a video to talk about, which is, you know, how everything is on YouTube. You put your life on the internet and then everybody just, oh, my door's not closed. And then everybody just watches it for some reason. It's like, hey, this is me on the internet. But I figured maybe some of the experiences that I went through would help prevent you guys from getting scammed in the future. So as you can see that I still have the Corvette, and it is a different color than the last time you saw it. At least when I talked about the car completely, it was still wrapped. I've had the car for sale for the better part of a month and a half, maybe 2 months. And over the course of that, I've had about three attempts to steal it. Let's say 2 genuine attempts to steal it, because the third one I'm still not sure about. I've never sold a car this expensive before, and I usually 90% of the time, I own the title to the vehicle that I'm selling. The bank still owns this one technically. I've got this car about halfway paid off. So the transfer is a little bit different, I get that. So maybe that's what is inspiring, oh shit. Yeah, it's a light. So maybe that's where the difference comes from. But let's start it out from the top. I make the conscious decision to sell the vehicle. I proceed to list it. It was wrapped, it still had the Lamborghini doors on it. There's really not much else that's changed between now and then. And during that time, I had a ton of offers on it. I had a dozen or so people who were genuinely interested in it. That's how it sounded, who did not like the doors, which I get. The Lamborghini doors, the vertical doors, it's not everybody's cup of tea. So I called my buddy Finn over, a spin with Finn, much appreciated buddy. He came over and we removed the doors, and that was a relatively easy process. It took us a couple of hours. He's done it before, so thank you very much, Finn. I appreciate you coming out and doing that. So then we removed the wrap because I had maybe a bazillion people. How was the paint underneath it? I had to fucking convince them. Here's photos of it before it's been wrapped. There's no scratches, there's no dents, there's no chips, there's no dings. It's been wrapped. About 90% of my ownership of owning the car. But trying to convince that to boomers, because let's be honest, there's only 2 types of people that buy Corvettes, all right? People like me who are gonna modify them, and then there's like my dad, right? Tall socks, New Balance running shoes, jorts tucked in. I love you, Dad, but that's the other genre of Corvette owners, right? And yes, he does own a C7 Z06. Black on black on black. Absolutely mint. Has less miles than this thing does. So I was like, fine, I'll pander to the masses. I will remove the wrap. That didn't come without anybody making a serious offer. I had one guy offer a deposit to remove the wrap. And I was like, okay. Throws me a deposit, I remove the wrap, which fucking sucks because I think we can all agree that the C8 looked the absolute best in the Mythos red. I mean, what a fucking color that was, right? Ends up ghosting me, and I was like, whatever, that fucking sucks. I don't consider that a thief as much as it is just like a waste of time and money. That sucks, it is what it is. I was actually on my way to sell it in the last video that I made about it. That's when I came across my first theft attempt. It was very strange. So this guy had been messaging me back and forth, did not fight me on price at all. That's usually a red flag in my mind if someone doesn't fight me on price. Not that I'm willing to talk down or whatever, but like 99% of the time that I've sold stuff, someone's like, hey, is there any wiggle room on price? Because of course you're gonna try to get the best deal you can, and of course I'm gonna try to receive the most amount of money as possible for my vehicle. That's just how selling stuff works. You find a place in the middle. Some people do business completely differently. That's just in my history of selling things, how it's always worked. But he's coming from North Carolina, he's close, and he's gonna come down and get the car in person. That's not as much of a red flag. So we end up using a buddy of mine who works at a dealership, my buddy Derek. He was gonna do the financing for him, but Buddy's bringing a check. Very strange situation on his end. And if you don't know anything about certified checks and selling a vehicle with certified checks, where you think certified checks are the most secure form of payment, right? Like next to a wire, of course they are. The problem is that it's not hard to fake a certified check. From what I understand, I could be wrong, They give you the certified check. Your bank essentially accepts it as cash because it is a certified check, and they give you the money. And then a couple of weeks later, bank finds out that it's not a real check, and they remove the money from your account after the person's already taken the car. So you've lost the car, and you're out the money. And it's getting a little bit harder and harder to pull these scams off, but it is consistent amongst the automotive and motorcycle community, buying and selling things. Hell, I've heard of people losing their house to stuff like this. It's something you have to be wary of. I would say if you're going to accept anything via certified check or cashier's check, confirm it with the issuing bank. That is the advice that I have for you. Save you your vehicle, save you your time, save you your money. I think that is the most important thing. I almost became a victim of this. Dude's coming from North Carolina. It's about a 4.5, 5-hour drive. So he's like halfway to Georgia on his way to meet us and pick up the car, and messages us and says that he forgot the check. You forgot the check? Like the one thing that you're supposed to bring when buying a vehicle? It's like he might as well have forgotten the fucking money. But him and his dad drive all the way from North Carolina, a little bit older than me, in his 40s. They drive down in like a haggard C7. It's beat to fuck, the paint's fucked up, the wheels are fucked up, everything's fucked up on this car. But they show up in a C7, claiming that he works for a dealership. Immediately is like, hey dude, I forgot the check, we can do a wire, whatever, you know, whatever works. And my buddy who works at the dealership informs him, he's like, well, it's gonna take a couple of days for that wire to clear, so you can't leave with the vehicle until the money clears. Switch flipped immediately with him. Oh, well, we can't take it today, you know. We'll go back home. I want the car. He was dead convincing that he wanted the car. I was like, if you don't want the car, just let me know, because I have a bunch of other buyers. Like I've had people lined up for the car. Just let me know. He's confirmed that he wants it. He's like, can I test drive it? I was like, without money in hand, no, but you can ride in it with me. So we do a quick ride around the block, and he is sketchy the whole time. Fidgety, and it's like it's very clearly doesn't want to be in the car. And it took me a little bit, but at that point I realized that he wasn't actually interested in the car anymore because he could not scam us out of money. So he leaves and ghosts me. And this is all stuff that I'm learning about now. Apparently with selling cars and fraud, it's a big thing. So be cautious. If you're gonna do anything with certified checks, certified anything, cashier's checks, you just gotta be careful. There's a lot of really, really sketchy things going on there. But for sure, I would have been nay-nayed. That was, I would say, the first real attempt. Now the second one's a little bit sketchier. I had someone try to take off in the car. Allegedly. It's funny how the law works. You gotta say things correctly, right? Very careful about what I say, but I had someone try to take off in the car. I still have the car. We'll leave it at that. And then the third one isn't necessarily, I don't consider it an attempt. This one's ridiculous. This one pisses me off, right? I don't consider it an attempt of theft at my car, but maybe an attempt of theft at my money. I'm not really sure how this one works. Maybe you guys can piece this one together. This fucking guy. So I wasn't requiring a deposit. At no point did I ask for a deposit for my vehicles. People offered me deposits, which is cool. You know, like I'm not gonna say no, especially when you tell me that it's a non-refundable deposit. So this guy offers me, he's like, I want the car. I just sold my house. I've got a bunch of money. I was like, okay, red flag, whatever. Sends me photos of like his bank statements saying that he's paid off his house, you know, going through this whole rigmarole. He gives me $1,000 non-refundable deposit. His words, not mine. This is where it starts getting weird. $1,000 is worth it for me to hold it for a couple of weeks and turn down. I was having constant offers on the car. So I turned down offers for like 2 weeks. I even offered to pay for this motherfucker's hotel and travel expenses. We already agreed on a price, but I'll knock a little bit off to cover your travel expenses. That's fine. At this point, I even have the car serviced for him at a cost of $750. Yeah. That was fun. But you know what? He gave me the deposit. It pretty much covers it, right? You know? Well, some time goes by. He can't get the proper financing that he wants. He comes back with like a 9% because auto rates are fucking ridiculous. So then he goes, can you refund me my non-refundable deposit minus the maintenance fee you just paid? Of course. I'm a nice guy. Can you give me a little bit until it sells at least? Like that was the whole point of you giving me the deposit is for my time. You know, once it sells, I won't care. He's like, cool. 2 days later, I think, he opens up a case against me on PayPal saying that I'm withholding his deposit against his will. And it's like, bro, what? I was like, dude, did you just open up a case against me on PayPal for your non-refundable deposit that I already agreed to give you back? And he was like, yeah, also, can you come off your price some more? Literally lowballing me after fucking my business account on PayPal. I was like, bro, get fucked. I wouldn't sell it to you if you're the last person on fucking earth right now. That I send all the screenshots to PayPal. I'm like, listen, this is the conversation that we've had over the past like month. He's like, here's a non-refundable deposit, you know, like I don't want my money back. Me telling him that I would give his money back. It's one thing to give me a deposit and then demand it back, but like when I agreed to give it back to you, if you came out and saw the car, I'm not even sure he's a real person. So I give all this information to PayPal, and PayPal still lies in his favor and I get hit with a chargeback fee. So after I held the car for him for a couple of weeks, after I offered to pay for his travel, demands his money back, and then lowballs me. So this is one thing that's been racking my brain, is trying to figure out what exactly he had to gain from it. Maybe it was just poor communication on his part, you know? Maybe he just got lucky with PayPal. I still believe in the back of my head that there was some malicious intentions. I just haven't been able to piece it together. So maybe you guys can. Maybe you guys can figure out what he had to fucking gain. But the good news is the car is good to go. It's been certified, it's been gone through, it's been inspected. The car is absolutely perfect like we agreed. So I'm stoked about it, to be honest with you guys. It's just sucks that I wasted all that time. But with all that being said, what does that mean for the Corvette and me? Have I found a new owner? No, I haven't. Because I'm fucking keeping it. I've decided that it's too much of a pain in the ass to sell, that I am just gonna fucking keep it. Which is, I think, ultimately what I wanted anyways. And to be honest, man, I just like the car. So yeah, I decided to keep it. I'm gonna keep the car for a few reasons, and I think you guys will be excited about it. Whatever I was gonna buy in replacement was gonna be a dedicated track car, right? That was the goal anyway, since I'm doing all this stuff with AMP, and it's such a nice home. They just treat me so well up there. I love those guys so much. I was like, man, this would be a great thing to do. So I was gonna, for content, was going to buy a vehicle and track it. That was the idea. And since now I'm not gonna buy a new vehicle, I'm just gonna track the C8, right? That was the whole purpose. I am going to turn this thing into a dedicated track car. Now, okay, dedicated is a weird term, because that implies that's all I'm gonna use it for. It's still gonna be pretty much my daily, but I've been talking with a couple of the companies that I work with. Variant Wheels, Kumo Tires, Corsa Exhaust, and the big one, which is C7 Carbon in this one. And that's where it gets really funny, right? As I was getting ready to sell the car, C7 Carbon, the company that makes all the carbon fiber that's on the car right now, well, they send me a message as I'm getting ready to sell it. They're like, hey dude, we like what you do. We like looking at our products on your cars. I was like, yeah, tell me more. And they're like, we've got this really insane aero kit coming out for the C8. We want you to have it, be like the big unveil for it. And I was like, but I'm selling the car. And they're like, that's a fucking bummer, dude, because this is gonna be awesome. So I had to tell them no. I was like, I'm selling the car. I can't have your super awesome, sweet aero performance kit that would be perfect for a track. Well, guess who's not selling the Corvette anymore? Me. But I reached back out, I talked with the owner a good bit. I'm like, hey, I'm not selling the Corvette no more. And he's like, well, does that mean that we're gonna do the carbon fiber kit? I was like, you're goddamn right, that's what it means. So that's what we're doing with the C8. We're turning the C8 into both my daily but dedicated track car. It's like, you know what, if I'm gonna own a car like this, that's this exotic to me, you know, I know it's still a Corvette to most people, but to me, it's a very nice and expensive car. So if I'm gonna own a car like this, I gotta make content off of it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm turning this into a track car content making machine. But I'm very fucking excited, man. After taking race school, it's like, I feel a lot more comfortable behind the wheel of a car on the track now, especially with it being a downforce kit. Like, all the aero is massive downforce for the front and rear, and I think you guys are gonna like it. So that is going to be an epic journey. I'm going to be unveiling new products specifically for the C8 on this car. I'm very excited about that. And to be honest, I think it's kind of a perfect fucking car. Like, if you've ever driven a C8, you know, I know they're not the fastest cars in the world, but God, do they handle so good. And this car deserves to be driven. In the future, possibly forced induction. That's long-term goal. That would be great. A turbo or supercharger kit for the C8. I think that this is a good way for me to justify keeping the car. And I hope you guys are stoked about it. Like, I hope you guys are watching like, oh yeah, Dan's keeping the C8, because I haven't made much content on it. Like, over the past couple of years, what have I done? Mostly showboaty stuff. Like, I took the doors off of it and like I wrapped it a couple of times and made it look good. It's funny how like people trying to steal my car just made me want to keep it that much more. So with all that being said, what do you guys want to see with it? What do you want to see content-wise? Obviously, there's going to be track stuff, track days, and pushing myself and learning and whatnot. But what other kind of stuff would you like to see with the Corvette? Should we go out and race Gavin? Like, all this stuff is way faster than mine, but I'll gladly lose if it's good content, right? Like, I don't mind. What can I do to a C8? Doo-doo. So yeah, that's the next chapter of the Corvette. It's sticking with me, at least for now. And if you've enjoyed the track stuff, which I know it's not as popular as some of my other stuff is, but now that I'm back in the swing of doing things, working on my stuff, moto vlogging, and now track stuff, both kart and main car track, and all I can say is I hope you watch it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that my channel is still fun for you, you fucking asshole. Just click like, you know, that's all you gotta do. But that is it for today's video. You got some really cool content coming your way, and I will see you in the next one. Keep staying, just keep being beautiful. You're killing it. You're doing a great job. And I know, like, I know you might not feel like it because of this, that, and the other, but you're doing fine. You're on nobody else's schedule besides yours. Don't compare yourself to other people. You should never look in your neighbor's bowl to see how much they have, only to make sure that they have enough. The world's not ending tomorrow, and even if it does, there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. It's just work. I love y'all. This is a Ridge wallet. Now you guys know I love my Ridge wallet, right? I've basically converted all my friends and family over to a Ridge wallet, including my dad. And you know, he's a boomer. He's carried around one of those trifold Bill Crap wallets for his entire life. You know how hard it is to get those people to change. Now the Ridge wallet holds up to 12 cards, and there's even room for cash, with either the cash trap or the money clip. And they come in over 30 different styles and colors, like their new Base Camp Orange, or one of my favorites, Damascus. So not only do they have a ton of different options, but they also come with a lifetime warranty, and RFID blocking technology to keep yourself from getting scammed or skimmed. As a matter of fact, Ridge Wallet is so confident in their product, they will let you test one for 99 days. And if you don't like it, you get a full refund. But don't just take my word for it. Give it a shot yourself and see why they have over 50,000 5-star reviews. Make sure to go to the description of my video and use my link, ridgewallet.com/doitwithdan, and then use my code at checkout, doitwithdan, and you will get 10% off of your order. Ridge Wallet is easily the best wallet there is. It's why I continue to partner with them, which is really cool of them to sponsor today's video. It allows me to keep doing the stuff I do for free, and you guys keep enjoying the content. So if you've ever been looking for an excuse to buy a Ridge wallet, now is the time. Thank you, Ridge, for partnering with me, and thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.